seriously, don't go cheap on laptops. This is something that Dell only does really, and most other manufacturers they don't do at all. Lower blue light hardware protection, it's very fast, it's got good CPU. The battery life supposedly 12-13 hours. I slightly move it over the space bar and I can feel the groove. Now obviously someone might force you put your finger there and unlock your laptop. You see I've logged in, so it's very quick. In the meantime, check my other channels, Camille's View personal development channel and my e-commerce channel Outlet Shop UK. There is no really such a thing as a perfect laptop, but if you're looking for something for general use, for small business use, this is it, Dell Inspiron series. They range at the moment from 700 to 1200 pounds, and there is a big choice, not a big choice, but choices are big enough. On their website you can configure the options depending on the price, the specs, and the one I have here is for around for almost 1100 pounds. It comes with NVIDIA RTX 3050, so if you don't want that extra graphics card, you can get it for much less, 100 pounds less or so. Now I do recommend that you get minimum 16 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs is kind of okay, but listen, if you're planning to spend 500 pounds, don't. Add more money, spend 700-800 pounds. You will be using this laptop for 3, 4, 5 more years, and maybe even every day. You know, just buy once and buy a good one that will serve you, so you don't need to spend a lot of time, you know, cleaning things up, worrying why things are not working, uninstalling, etc. It's not really worth the hassle. You know, every hour you lost or you lose costs you money. So buy well, 16 gig, good laptop. Okay, so what's great about it? Well, the looks are kind of quite good. It's very well designed, I must say. The color could be better. The color is kind of, supposedly it's a gray with a bit of a blue tint, but really it's not blue. When I look at it, it's kind of dark gray, and it's very difficult to see any blue in it. It's a big stretch, but anyway, nevertheless, it's good enough. It looks professional. I would prefer maybe some more fancy color, more brave, but anyway, for business, casual use, it's a very good laptop that doesn't stand out too much. Well designed, cooling actually at the back. It's got lovely keyboard. I love the keyboard. It's lit up and it does make a difference. Especially even if it's not like in the dark, but in the dark it makes the keys easy to see, and you can configure it, and you can also, there is a dedicated button, I can switch it off, I can put it on kind of a lower power, higher power, and off. So you can see that in the camera the difference it makes. So again, I'm gonna switch it to full power. Now there is this lovely screen as well, 3K screen. Let me restart it, come on. So the power button works as well as a fingerprint reader. You see, I've logged in, so it's very quick, and that's what I like about it. Regarding the screen, there are quite good things. So it's a 3K screen, so over 3000 pixels this way and almost 2000 pixels this way. And for this size, 16 inches, 3K I think is a minimum. 4K would be nicer, but believe me, even with 3K, this screen looks really good. I'm very pleased with it. Now with a smaller screen, if you go for 14 inches, then I would recommend 2.5K. Full HD, not really that great from 14 inches and higher. So for if you're buying something 15-16 inches and it's full HD, really I do not recommend that. It doesn't look good. There are some laptops that are like 12-13 inches that are 4K even, you know, and this one is much bigger than 3K. But anyway, 12-13 inches, you could maybe get away with full HD. Anything bigger like 14 inches, 2.5K, and 15-16 inches, 3K, 4K. That's my recommendation. The screen is actually quite nice. It's got very nice matte finish. So it's not the brightest, it's around 300 nits, so in bright sunshine it will be difficult. However, it's got this matte finish that mitigates the reflections a little bit. The colors are beautiful, very strong, nicely saturated, and supposedly it's got this blue lower blue light hardware protection. Well, maybe there is. I really like looking at this screen. I think it's got lovely colors for sure, and it's not too blue, that's for sure. So that's my recommendation. Okay, shall we talk in details about this laptop? So it's very fast, it's got good CPU. Even if you buy the cheaper version, it still will be good enough. As I said, it's got a nice GPU, extra GPU if you want the extra version. Otherwise, the built-in GPU in in Intel CPUs is quite good. I haven't had any trouble with it, and I monitor and I check. My dedicated RTX graphics card is not really ever used. Maybe if I do some heavy intensive things like video editing. Other than that, I can see that only Intel GPU built in the CPU is actually used for everything else. What else do we need to say? The battery management. So the battery life supposedly 12-13 hours on, if you just, ideal case scenario, watch one small video on 50% brightness, but for general use I would say from my experience 6 to 8 hours, which is kind of okay. It's not great. 6 hours kind of, I think it's a day of work. You know, if I go to a cafe or somewhere, I can spend 6 days and do some not very intensive work. For video editing, obviously I need to plug it in. The graphics card takes a lot of power. The power supply is rated 130 watts, so it does take a lot of power. Now look at the light. That's a nice add-on as well, and I really like it. It's just small things, so the lit up keyboard, those little things here, they make the difference. Small difference, nevertheless it adds up to the whole experience. Now the battery management, it's got some software hardware battery management which protects the battery from overcharging or charging for too long. So it even asks, okay, are you primarily using it connected to the cable? Are you primarily using it as a laptop that you walk around, etc., or adaptive, where it monitors the use and then it adjusts. You can even configure it manually. You can tell the laptop not to charge it beyond 95%, for example, which I think is very neat. And it never charges, it stops charging at 100%, and that's it. So it protects the battery. And the battery, you can't really remove the battery unless you disassemble the laptop, so that's very important. Are there any negative sides to the laptop? Well, yes, the webcam is kind of rubbish. I mean, it's not terrible, horrible, but in comparison with my desktop webcam, not that great. It could be to the chip shortages, or it could be just I'm a little bit more demanding person regarding the cameras while I make YouTube videos. Nevertheless, for video conferencing, especially when someone sees you in this size, it's probably perfect, So the webcam, but the webcam has got a privacy window here, or privacy cover actually. There is a small slider, very small. It's not easy to move it. It's not difficult either, but it's not easy. And it covers the camera physically, which is a nice add-on. Shame that there is no indication to show whether the camera is covered or uncovered. I need to really look at it and think about it and move it maybe sometimes to figure it out until I remember which position is which. So battery life we've discussed, the color we've discussed. The color is nice, but again, not brave enough. Let's look at some other positive aspects that I have. The keyboard. Okay, so this is something that Dell only does really, and most other manufacturers, they don't do at all. What they do, they design rubbish keyboards. So they move this old GR key very far away, whereas Dell keeps it very close to the M button. And for touch typing, I type a lot, and I need that old GR button many times a day. It's very important for me that it's under my thumb, so I slightly move it over the space bar, and I can feel the groove, the space between those buttons, and I can use it. Very important to me. Everyone else is like they put it, I don't know, somewhere there. What are they thinking about? I mean, why do I need spacebar that's this big? No one needs that. So here we go. Dell was the only option for me because of the keyboard itself. So well done, Dell, you know. And there are so many small bits and pieces that I like about Dell. They add, for example, some extra software. You could call it bloatware, but it's kind of useful. So for our audio management, video management, extra features. I'm not sure I'm gonna use them, but it's nice to have in case you need it, or in case I need it, obviously. What else is there? Touchpad. The touchpad is quite big and it supports many gestures and they can be configured. Well, not exactly configured the way I would like them to, but I think that's the fault of Windows itself, not Dell. Dell doesn't provide any software. That configuration of those gestures is provided by Windows 11 in my case. Also, as a factory preset, it comes with BitLocker enabled. If you don't know, BitLocker is hardware supported encryption, so in case someone steals your laptop or you lose it somewhere, data cannot be recovered unless someone knows the password. If they don't have the password and they take the SSD, put it in another computer, it's encrypted basically. So your privacy is protected. Okay, what else? Yeah, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, Bluetooth 5.2 I think, or 5.1, yeah, so very good. And Wi-Fi 6 I think, the latest, with support for MIMO, multiple in, multiple out, so really top notch. What else do we have? The speakers. There are two speakers underneath and the sound bounces off the desk, which is a really good thing. So the sound is generally very good for, you know, listening to the music in the background, for watching videos and movies if you don't expect, you know, any bass, and for learning languages, etc. So very good speakers, just don't expect to run a disco off it, you know, you'll be disappointed obviously. Low blue light in the hardware, I mentioned that. Okay, so let's discuss some extra bits and pieces. It's got ports on the side, so on this side USB-C, A and HDMI, and the USB-C supports Thunderbolt 4. For some people it will be important, I don't care much about that. And we've got an SD card, USB A and a headphone jack. Shall I show you? Actually, maybe I can show you. Let's see, can the camera see it properly? Come on, camera. It's here. No, okay. The camera doesn't want to focus there. Anyway, you know what the ports look like, and what's important about them is that it's enough. With a USB hub, for example, like this, so this one is USB-C, and it also has got this attachment for USB-A, so I can use either USB-A and then connect this cable there, or I can use USB-C and just keep this at the end and have USB-C here as an extension. So you can buy anything like this. You can buy those also with extra HDMI ports and other ports. SD card reader is definitely a nice add-on, and sometimes I use it with an external SSD like this one, which is very useful, much faster than a USB stick and not much more expensive. HDMI is obviously only HDMI out because of the restrictions imposed by the movie industry, I think. Unfortunately, HDMI in is not allowed, but you can always get this kind of a USB stick. I recommend this one, Camlink. You can buy cheaper ones, they will do as well. But you know, if you really need it, buy a more expensive one like this, and you'll get extra features, better quality of everything. So I recommend that. What else? Dell's mouse, actually, out of all the things, it's actually quite nice. So this mouse comes separately, it's 25 pounds or something, and could be used as a Bluetooth mouse or as this mouse with the radio transmitter. 2.4 gigahertz like Wi-Fi, and you can choose which one you want. And the mouse is really nice. I'm really fussy about my mices. So for example, for my desktop I use this one from Microsoft, really big one, and this one is really nice. I really like it. It's not super fancy or anything. It's got extra 2 keys here. I just really like it and recommend it. Now, regarding the keyboard and typing, I like normally for desktops big Microsoft keyboards, and I really like typing on Dell as well. I don't like Logitech, so if you don't like Logitech and like Microsoft, you might also like Dell's keyboards. Otherwise, you might like other keyboards. I don't really like too much other keyboards. Dell was the best one for me when I was testing it in the shop, comparing with Asus, HP, and some other laptops, can't remember now. So for me, Dell is absolutely the best choice, and I recommend that you get yourself a Dell. You probably, if you don't need this extra graphics card, then you can get it for, you know, 700, 800, 900 pounds. That's a bargain, kind of, for a premium laptop. Just make sure you get yourself 16 gigs. Seriously, do not buy anything with less than 80 gigs of RAM. Okay, now the extra information I wanted to tell you, this is for, you know, more advanced users, maybe not. SSD versus HDD. At the moment, practically all premium laptops, even the cheaper ones, they only come with SSDs. They don't come with HDDs anymore. Size is one restriction, so it's fairly thin, and it would be difficult to fit an HDD inside, so a hard drive. So we only have SSDs, and that's the way forward. Do not go for hard drives, really. Now, fingerprint reader versus password. So fingerprint reader is fairly safe, in most situations much safer than typing the password, because someone might see your password, or you might forget it when you really need it, and also it's quicker. Now obviously someone might force you put your finger there and unlock your laptop, but if they are going to do such a thing, they could also probably force you to reveal the password to them, you know. So it's a really safe thing. Okay, and I think, let me see the last check. Yeah, nice design. The SSD on board this one is really fast. It's not the slower SSD, so this one goes up to 3.5 gigabytes per second. Maximum theoretical speed. It's not, I mean, it goes to that speed, but it's not sustainable. There are no SSDs really that can sustain that speed for longer than a second or two, and then it drops, but still, nevertheless, it's much faster than the other SSDs. Because it's got my version, RTX NVIDIA NVIDIA graphics card, it supports the NVIDIA's broadcast software, which might be useful for some people. For example, to remove background or blur it, or to remove noise from the voice. Although RTX voice is available on other graphics cards as well. Okie dokie. I think, yeah, that is it. So go and get yourself this one. In the meantime, check my other channels, Camille's View Personal Development channel and my e-commerce channel, Outlet Shop UK. Guys, have a great one. Really buy this laptop. Do not think too much. Just think of the budget and buy the most expensive you can afford. Seriously, don't go cheap on laptops. And now in the UK, you can get it in installments. Like, you know, so this one cost me like 90 quid a month for 12 months, no interest. So perfect deal. Take care.